It's TCT here once again, and today I'm going to be talking about the return of Bill Goldberg to the WWE. Now, back in the 1990s, I was a little kid, and I was, like everybody else, watching the Monday Night Wars, and one of the people that kept me on WCW other than Sting was Bill Goldberg. The 176 match win streak that he had was just incredible. Like, if you weren't alive then and never got to see that, words cannot fathom how great that was. So when he made his return to the WWE the other night, I'm sitting there like, this guy's 50 years old and he's fighting Brock Lesnar. Like, I'm wondering if this is just to check that name off Brock Lesnar's list because Brock Lesnar lost to him at WrestleMania 20. And it's always going to be said that Goldberg has that one victory over Brock Lesnar. And, I don't like that. I want Goldberg to come in here and just not get buried like, they did with Sting. They buried Sting when he came in there. He had maybe one victory, and that was against like some jobber on Monday Night Raw, and I do not like that. Sting, Undertaker, and Goldberg were my guys growing up as a kid. And, of course, Undertaker had an amazing career, but when Sting finally came to WWE, I didn't like what they did with it. I loved the match that he had with Triple H, but I knew Triple H was going to end up winning because they just don't like guys from WCW. And that's how I'm feeling like with Bill Goldberg coming back. I'm feeling like that they are going to have, a very physical match, but it's going to end up being Brock Lesnar that takes the victory because they just don't like guys from WCW. Now, I love if he had that one more match and he still somehow, some way beats Brock Lesnar, which is, I doubt it, but, it's very hard to comprehend that a 50-year-old man will come in there and beat Brock Lesnar. Goldberg's nearly 50 years old, if not already 50 years old. And, he still looks pretty badass. I think he can still go for one more. But Bill Goldberg, in my book, is going to come into WWE just to have his name crossed off Brock Lesnar's list of people that he hasn't beat. Undertaker was the guy that he beat at WrestleMania. Triple H was one of those guys he had never beat until a couple years ago. Then Randy Orton was one of those guys. They just marked him off the list. And now it's Bill Goldberg. And I'm liking that Goldberg is back. I love the fact that he is back. And I love the fact that he is fighting Brock one more time after that horrible WrestleMania 20 match. Now, I ordered WrestleMania 20. I watched it. And I was very disappointed. I mean, for one thing, you can't blame him because you can blame the New York City crowd for that because the crowd were booing the hell out of him all night, and Goldberg and Brock just said, screw these guys, man. And, you don't blame them. They were leaving the next day anyway. Brock was going to the NFL to try out for the Minnesota Vikings. Goldberg's contract was up because it would be the end of the year. Like, it would be 1 year the next night that he was there and he would be totally gone. They knew they weren't going to be around, so they knew this match didn't need to be good. But now we can get a good match, but I'm wondering if it's a little too late to get like a full prime Goldberg and Brock Lesnar match. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but the way I'm feeling about this match is they're going to go in. Goldberg's going to have some big spots. Brock's going to have a couple suplexes, but I think they're going to do this very carefully because they don't want to really hurt anybody. They want to just give the fans the show that they deserved back in 2004, which, I was a little disappointed, but I could also see where Brock and Goldberg were coming from. They were leaving the next night and the fans were just not giving them no respect whatsoever. So they just pretty much said, screw you guys, which, is kind of harsh to the fans. But I mean, hey, they were in New York City and those fans were just getting all up on them. So in my book, those fans deserved it. It's the people at home that paid to see Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar that did not deserve that. And now they're giving everybody what they deserve. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Now, back then, Brock Lesnar wasn't this huge fighter that he is now. Like, a lot of people beat Brock Lesnar back when he was in the WWE for the first time. But now, after being in the UFC, and he's basically a machine. And the only credible threat I can see right now to beat Brock Lesnar would be Bill. And if it happens, that place is going to go berserk. It's going to be one of the great moments of Goldberg's career. And it's probably going to be the final moment because I doubt they're going to have him at a WrestleMania match. I don't know who he would face, if maybe Triple H one more time, or possibly The Undertaker. I don't know. I wouldn't put him in there with Taker because he'd probably kill Taker. He would hurt Taker. Even though Taker would probably win the match, he'd put Taker in the hospital. Because Brock put Taker in the hospital, so you can imagine what Bill would do. But I'm liking the idea that they're going to try this one more time. It's probably going to end up being the main event of Survivor Series. And I would love it if it was the main event, but, you can't take away from the titles. The WWE title is on AJ Styles, the Universal title is on Kevin Owens, but those two matches and those two champions, I don't think can hold up to Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg. They need to book this as the main event for Survivor Series. It's got to be that. It feels like Starrcade when Hollywood Hogan fought Sting. That's the type of feel it feels. It feels like Cena versus Rock. These are two legends that are going to end up. They're going to be in the Hall of Fame. Goldberg, I thought if he never came back, he was really close to being inducted. If not this year, after he has this match, he's probably going to be inducted. But Brock Lesnar is going to be in there. He's the most dominant superstar in their history. But I'm thinking what's going to happen is they're going to go into this match. They're going to have a good 20-minute hellacious fight. But Brock's going to come away with the victory so he can say that I finally conquered Goldberg. And most people are not going to like that, but that's what I see them doing. Now, they could completely go a 180 and shock everybody and be like, oh my God, Brock Lesnar just lost to Bill Goldberg. Which, that would be incredible. If Goldberg could come in here after not being in the ring for 12 years and defeat Brock Lesnar. But most people wouldn't buy that as credibility unless he has a couple warm-up matches, which I heard he probably will. So, anyway, guys, that's my thought on Bill Goldberg's return. He's literally one of my favorite idols. Him, Sting, and Taker were my guys growing up in the 90s. That's who it was. A lot of people say that he's very highly overrated. I don't think so, because not one man captured as many people, during a winning streak as he did. You talk about Undertaker's streak. You can talk about Andre the Giant being undefeated for all those years. Yeah, but when Goldberg came in to Nitro, he decimated people inside of 5 minutes. It took no less than 5 minutes for most of his matches. And they were against Diamond Dallas Page, Booker T, Shockmaster, a whole bunch of people that were high-class talent at the time. And in 5 minutes, these guys would get decimated by Goldberg. And that's what made him a credible threat. And I hate the fact that it took Kevin Nash being a whiny little punk to take that world title from him, and it ticked me off the way that happened. They kind of cheated to get it off of him, but it ended his 176 win streak. It's still a feat today that I don't think anybody could ever come in and be 176-0 to start their career. That is just impressive. The only people I think have ever done it is Andre and Goldberg. I know Andre was undefeated for a couple years, I think, because who the hell could beat Andre the Giant other than Andre the Giant or Hulk Hogan, But I think that was really the only person Andre lost to was Hulk Hogan, if I'm not mistaken. But if I'm wrong, who cares? But I know Andre was undefeated. I know Goldberg was undefeated until Ted Turner's like, oh, we got to get these championship off Goldberg and we got to give it to Kevin Nash or Kevin Nash is going to walk. I'm like, you guys are just pathetic. And then when he comes in, Triple H is like, no, this is my world title. He come into WWE, this is my world title. Goldberg can't have it. He can have it for a month. I'll give it to him for 4 weeks and then I'm taking it right back. And that's what happened. He had it for 4 weeks and they took it right back. I'm like, you can't screw Goldberg over much more than when he came to WWE. And when he came to WWE, I loved him even more because he was more of a powerhouse. But he was losing to people like Kane and the Dudley Boys. And, just random people they threw in front of him. And I was like, he lost to Rosie or Jamal. And I'm like, no. Goldberg cannot lose to these people, And I'm not sure if he lost to those guys, but it was like those guys they were throwing in front of him that he could decimate. And he was having just 15, 20-minute matches with him. I'm like, come on, man. Goldberg is a force. But anyway, my prediction is Brock Lesnar's going to defeat Goldberg. As much as I don't want it to happen, it's probably going to happen. But, you know, if you were going for an upset factor, this would be the time to do it. A 50-year-old Bill Goldberg can come in and defeat the beast Brock Lesnar. That shows the other young kids that are on the roster, anybody can beat Brock Lesnar if they're tough enough or they're strong enough. But I doubt it's going to happen. I think WWE is just playing with everybody right now. The match is here to promote the video game, which I don't like that, but that's what they're going for. Plus, I think, you know, people have been asking for a long time for this rematch, and I think we're going to get it. So anyway, my pick is Brock Lesnar wins, as much as I don't want to. I don't want Brock Lesnar to win this match. I want Goldberg to win this match, but it's not going to happen. Anyway, thanks, guys.